Welcome to Apex Tai Chi. This is Dr. Jia. This week, I want to reflect on something I call the gate of softening. How the hips can teach us about tension, protection, and the slow return to ease. There was a time in my own life while I was going through a divorce, when I began to understand something that no amount of thinking could have taught me. Emotional pain does not only live in the mind, it lives in the body. It changes the breath, it tightens the chest, it grips the lower back, and very often it gathers quietly around the hips and pelvis, the deepest center of the body, where the ancient teachers said the root of movement and the root of life both begin. At that time, my body felt heavy and tired. Life has a way of continuing regardless, expecting me to keep functioning, keep appearing steady, keep moving forward, even when something inside is quietly falling apart. And I did keep going, but I was holding myself together through effort, not through ease, through tension, not through root. Tai Chi gave me somewhere to return, slowly, through the body itself. In classic Taoist understanding, the pelvis and lower abdomen are not simply anatomical regions. They are the seat of original energy that sustains life from before birth. The dantian, located just below the navel, is described as the ocean from which all movement arises and to which all energy returns. When this center is gripped, guarded, or cut off from the ground, qi cannot circulate freely. The whole body becomes effortful. Movement loses its root. This is not mysticism. In practice, it is something you can feel directly. When life has required a great deal of control, emotional pressure, or self-protection, the body begins to organize around that experience. The hips tighten, the breast stays high, the lower body becomes distant, almost forgotten, while the upper body carries everything. Thinking, managing, enduring, responding. So many people are trying to live entirely from above the waist. The ground is there, but the body has stopped trusting it. In Tai Chi, we do not force the hips open. We do not demand release. The classical texts remind us, use intention, not force. The body cannot be commanded into openness. It can only be invited. So we begin by softening the knees. We let the weight sink gently into the feet. We allow the breath to settle lower into the back of the ribs, into the waist, into the lower abdomen. We release unnecessary effort from the shoulders, the belly, the lower back. And slowly, the pelvis begins to feel something it may not have felt in a long time. Support. The body does not release because we order it to do. It releases when it feels safe enough to let go. That is the difference between forced and softening. And it is also the difference between surviving and returning. When I was going through that period of my life, my mind could not solve what needed to be resolved. Thinking in circles only tightened the grip. What my body needed was something older and quieter than analysis. Rhythm, breath, steadiness, Slow movement that did not ask me to perform or pretend. Each weight shift in practice reminded me that support can move from one side to another without collapse. Each turn of the waist showed me that change does not have to be forced. Each breath offered the body a small message. You are here. You are held. You do not have to carry this alone. And slowly, I began to feel I was not only surviving, I was returning. The classical tradition speaks of returning to the root, returning to life. It is not a poetic image. It is a description of what happens in the body when qi finds its way back to the center, when the breath drops, when the pelvis softens, when the ground is trusted again. That is what Tai Chi was teaching me. Not through words, through practice. So as you move into this week, I invite you to notice your own body in a single way, just with curiosity. If you feel tension in the hips, the lower back, or the breath, do not immediately treat it as a problem to fix. Perhaps the body is protecting you. Perhaps it has been holding more than it needs to. Perhaps it is asking not for force, but for support. This waking practice, we will be walking through the gate of softening together. There is no forcing, no expectation. Come as you are. Tai Chi offers a quiet way back. Back to breath. Back to the ground. Back to the center that was always there. This is Dr. Jia at Apex Tai Chi. If you want to explore more ways of softening, physically and mentally, get in touch. My detail is as below. Remain curious and be well.